The board has some correspondence that I've provided them regarding a notification that we received from Attorney William Crowley notifying the town of the property owner's intention of selling property located at 333 Andover Street for a use other than agriculture or horticulture in compliance with Mass General Law, Chapter 61A, Section 14. The board and the public knows this property by the name of the Sciarappa Farm. So we received a notice hand-delivered back on February 12th, the day after the board's last meeting, and that correspondence was provided to the town, to the Board of Selectmen through the town clerk as prescribed, and also to the Conservation Department Planning Board, Conservation Commission Planning Board, and Board of Assessors, all as prescribed by that section of Chapter 61. And what it does is it gives notice that the property owners are intending to sell their property, which heretofore they've had the benefit of a tax break from the town because it has been used for agricultural purposes. In this particular case, it can be used for, again, agricultural or horticultural purposes. We've provided that, obviously, to town council immediately, and I met with staff, discussed the matter with the chairman, and provided all of the information to the Board of Selectmen when we received it. It so happened that we were meeting the next 2 days later with a developer who wanted to come in and speak with me, as developers will do from time to time. Wanted to talk about what they referred to as senior housing. And it turned out that this was what they were talking about, and I suggested that for the kind of project they want, to put the town on a 120-day notice was probably not a reasonable action to take. They indicated that it was not their intention to put the town on a 120-day notice for this kind of project. And with me, we prevailed upon the petitioner to consider withdrawing the 120-day notice. And that is the other piece of correspondence that you have. On February 20th, we received notice from William Crowley that by this particular correspondence, they would withdraw that 120-day notice. I can speak to what that project is, Mr. Chairman, or we can wait. I know there's an action that will have to be taken by the Board of Selectmen in order to effectuate the withdrawal, and that is under the board's agenda under item number 6. Can discuss it more then, or I can tell you what little I know about the proposed project and suggest that at a future meeting the proponents should probably come in and talk to the Board of Selectmen. This would be a major development in that area if it were to go through, but at the same time, they've certainly exemplified their cooperative spirit by agreeing to allow the town to completely vet out this project.
Yeah, have you talked to the parties at all on what an appropriate time frame would be for that, for them to?
They would like to come in as soon as possible to begin the discussion. So I would say within the next 30 days or so,
Okay.
we may want to have a preliminary discussion where they can tell us just what they're talking about. And just for the public's information, they're talking about a 624 unit senior housing complex. This is a high-end senior housing complex that would be built in stages. They're proposing 6 buildings and an amenities building to do this. They would not use all of the property on the 60-acre parcel. And they would also eventually want to build a 150-bed skilled nursing facility on that parcel. Done some research, I've had some discussions with these people. They know that if this were ever to go forward, it would have to go through all the boards and even, I believe, some rezoning. And that in order to come to the town with something like this, there certainly would be some benefit requested by the town, just as they have done in other communities in terms of give back to the town. What that would be, I certainly have some ideas of my own, but that's something that we could discuss as the process goes further. But I think that it probably makes sense, since this is, you know, a matter of public record, and it's a matter that the board is going to be faced with soon, that it might be wise to have them come in at a date that's convenient for all.
Yeah, I think you've given us enough information to get a feel for what it's about. I'd really like to, you know, have them in and get a more complete picture rather than trying to speculate what their plans might be.
Okay.
So we'll work on that.